Ches, Yud Ches.
Okay, we're up to Yud Ches Amid Beis. No, up to Taste of Yud Ches. We're up to Yud Zayin Amid Beis. And in order to understand this daf, we have to go back to Daf Tes Zayin. Daf Tes Zayin Amid Aleph at the top. We had a case of, we want to know whether a mashka, whether a liquid can be mitama, can transmit tuma. So Rabbi said at the top, that's tahar. Tame, we said the tame acherim, it's tame to mitama, it's the tame acherim tahar. If it's, let's say you have a mashka, it's a suffix whether touched it, it's going to be tahar, divrei Rabbi. And Rabbi Lezer agreed. Then we had the shita of Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda l'chol tamei, to everything is tamei. Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Shimon l'oichlin tamein l'kelim tahirin. So they make a pshara. So here's the different shitas right in front of us. Right. Rabbi Meir says that by ochel it's tahar if the mashka touches the food, and if the mashka touches the kelim, it's also tahar. Rabbi Yehuda says in either case it's both tamei. Rabbi Yossi says, well, it depends. If it's an eichel, it's tamei. If it's kalim, then it's tahar. Those are the shittas. Now, what does this depend upon? What does the shittas depend upon? The following: the pasuk at the top. Mikola eichel asher yochel, from any food that you eat, asher yavo olav mayim, that mayim falls upon it. Now, this word is pronounced in the Torah as yitma. That's the way it's read. Yitma. It shall be tamei. It shall be tamei is mashma. It does not transfer tama. The chol mashka and any mashka sheyishasa that you will drink, the chol kli and el kli yitma, the same thing. So it says yitma twice, and the way the kri is yitma mashma, they're both tamei. Tamei means tamei, but not the transfer. Rameya says the reason why mashka touches the oichlis tahar or mashka touches the kelis tahar, because he dashes the words yitma. Even though the mashka, the liquid, is tamei, since it says in the Torah yitma, it means it is tamei, but it doesn't have the capacity to transfer that tama. Rabbi Yehuda, on the other hand, says no. You read it, you look the way it's spelled. It's spelled tamei. It doesn't say tamei. If it wanted to say it's tamei, it shouldn't have put in the yud. It should have just said tamehu. It's tamei. Why does it say yud tes mem aleph? That we should pronounce this as yitamei, that it has the capacity to go ahead and transfer tumah to something else. Therefore, Rabbi Yehuda says, ochel, if it touches a mashka that's tamei, it's tamei. After all, b'chol mashka sheyishase b'chol kli yitamei, it will transfer tumah to others. And since it says b'chol kli, the kli is also yitamei. It'll be tamei. That's Rabbi Yehuda's shita. Rabbi Yosef Shimon make a chilek. They darshan ochel. They tashin yitamei, like Rabbi Yehuda, and therefore it's tamei. And we'll have to see why they say tahar by kalim. We'll have to see why they say tahar by kalim. Guys, we're good? Set up? Good. Baruch Hashem. We're now going to go to see the shita of Rabbi Yehuda. We said yesterday. We said, in fact, Rabbi Yehuda had chazara. He changed from it, right? Now the question, he had chazara because of a Mishnah. He had chazar. We see he changed his mind. The question: did he change his mind like Reb Meir totally? Did he change his mind in both ochel and kalim, or did he only change his mind by kalim, not by ochel? Remember, the shaila was on a becha, top and bottom. If the mashka touches the bottom, the inside's not tamei. But if it's an avatuma, then it's not an av. If it's mashkas tamei deraisa, there should not be a distinction between the toich, the inside, and the outside. Since he made a distinction, we said the mashka must be the rabbanon, and therefore he changed his mind. Question: when he changed his mind, guys, who did he change his mind according to? Did he change his mind according to Reb Meir, that not only by ochel is it tahar, but even by kalim it's tahar? Change from here to here, or no? He only changed like from here to here, but maybe from here to here, maybe from he only changed his mind by ochel, by kalim, He only changed his mind by kalim, like over here, from here to here, he changed his mind. But here he would hold like Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Yehuda. That's the Shiloh. Okay, Iboilahu, says the Gemara. We kalim hu the hadabei. He changed his mind from kalim because regarding oichel, he didn't change his mind. And midaraisa, a liquid can be metama food. Or maybe he changed his mind completely, and therefore why it would be tahar completely, like Reb Meir, silent in kalim, silent in oichel. Amrav Nachman bar Yitzchak Tashma. Let's come and be part of the Shiloh. Now we know that para aduma, in order to be mitar from tumis mace, you have to have mechata sprinkled upon you. That means you take the ashes of the para aduma, you mix it with water. At that point, it's called mechatas. That mechatas can be metama adam b'kelim. It's an avatoma. It's an avatoma. Animals, when they're alive, can't go ahead and be makabel tuma. Animals, when they are alive, they can't be makabel tuma. Okay. So here's the question. Let's say an animal drinks the paraduma and then you shech the animal. Do we say the basar is tameh because it's touching paraduma, or do we say since the paraduma was swallowed up already and it can't be guarded, so it lost the shmira. There was hesach hadas, and therefore no longer is it paraduma, and therefore it's just water. And it can be metama. Says the Gemara, Tashma, on 2 lines in the bottom on Yud Zayin, Amid Beis. Para sheshasasa mechatas, a para that drinks the mechatas. Don't get caught up. Para doesn't have to be a paraduma. Para does not have to be a paraduma. It can. The water is paraduma water, but the animal's an animal, okay? But it happens to be, the Mishnah there says it's speaking about a para. So para sheshasasa mechatas, a para that goes ahead and drinks mechatas. We're on Yud Zayin on the base at the bottom. Bisra tameh. Its bus is tameh. Rabbi Yehuda Omer. Rabbi Yehuda says, and this is what we need. Batlu b'meyeha. It's batal in meyeha. Mashma. It doesn't go ahead and it doesn't go ahead and be metama. It's mashma that the bus is tahar. Now, guys, listen to this fascinating concept. Para aduma water has a din of para aduma water. It's an avatuma. Taking that off, it remains water that touched tameh. It itself was tameh, because right? In other words, we can view the water as if it had touched para aduma. So good, it lost its shame mechatos, because you can't watch it when it's in the stomach and there was esech hadas. But if you're going to tell me that mayim can go ahead, mashka, and be metama basar, why doesn't Rabbi Yehuda say the basar is tameh? But when Rabbi Yehuda says that the basar is not tameh, he says batla b'memeha, it must be because he holds when he had charata across the board, not only by kalim, but even by ochel. So the Gemara wants to be placed with the Shiloh. Okay, for those 2 people who came late, let's go over what we're doing now. We had a machlokes between Reb Meir, Reb Yehuda, and Reb Yossi. We had a machlokes between all of them, right? We had a machlokes. Can an oichel be metama? Can a mashka be metama? Can a mashka be metama? That was our shaila. Can a mashka be metama? So Reb Meir said by ochel, by kalim, midaraisa it's tahar. Reb Yehuda said both cases is tameh. Rabbi Yosef Shimon said, tameh by ochel, tahar by kalim. We said Rabbi Yehuda had charata yesterday because of the case of the kais that you invert. And we said that there's a mashka touches the bottom, it's only tameh outside. If it was tameh deraisa, the whole thing should be tameh. So we know he changed his mind by kalim. Question, did he change his mind by ochel? Does he hold like Reb Meir and then he changed his mind completely? Or does he hold like Rabbi Yosef Yehuda that they're both tameh? So that was the shaila. So now we want to be poished the shaila. The fact that the para aduma drinks the water, the para drinks para aduma water, we know it's an avatuma. It gets geshachtin, and the Tanakama says the meat is tameh. It's visra asura. Says Rabbi Yehuda, batla b'meyeha. It's batal and it's meyeha. two halachas in the water. One halacha of mechatas, two mashka, that's tameh. Good, it loses the shem mechatas because you can't do a shmira on it. So therefore, it's no longer an avatuma. Take that off the board. But look at the water. It was water. It touched mechatas, meaning in itself intrinsically was tameh. And Rabbi is still saying that the meat is tahar. So you see that he had charata from a mashka being metama food. He was, no, it's like Reb Meir. Not only was he had charata from kalim, he had charata from ochel as well. I just told you Gemara. Top line, you Chesam and Aleph. And if you're going to think he had charata from kalim, but by oichlin he tackle holes like on the chart. Tamei. Amai butler b'meiher legamri. Why is it butler completely b'meiher to say that it's not metama? Nehi de tuma chamura loy metama. Good, it can't be metama as an avat tuma. Tuma chamura, it can't be metama as an avat tuma, which mechatos is. Tuma kala, but tumas oichlin mia metama. Tumas mashka should be metama. So why do you see a raya that he had charata completely? Because he said butler meyaha. Good. Says the Gemara, my butler meyaha nami butler me tumas chamura. Okay. In other words, don't learn batal meyeha in both segments, in the mechatas segment and the tamei water segment. No, mechatas is off the board. The avatum is off the board. But it's still, you can learn, it still would be metama. Now here's your problem. Let's look back at the Amid base. Para sheshasa mechatas, a para that drinks mechatas, bisra tamei. It's basra's tamei. Rabbi Yehuda Omer butler b'meyecha regarding mechatas, but what? It's basra's tamei, correct? The way you're learning now, the basra's tamei. Good. So how is he different than the Tanakama guys? The Tanakama also says the basra's tamei. It must be that the Tanakama holds that it's still metame tuma chamura. It must be that's the machloikis. No question that it's tamei, but to what extent? Rabbi Yehuda says it's only a tuma kala. It's only tumas mashka. Where is the Tanakama that says bisra tamei? It must be from the mechatos. It must be also tuma chamura, right? That's the machlokas. Or else, what are they arguing about? So says the Gemara, Firois. Says the Gemara, mechlal. You can infer that if Rabbi Yehuda holds it's tamei tumas mashka, the Tanakama savar. Tuma chamura nami mitama, right? The tuma chamura, it's also tamei. Says the Gemara, what are you talking about? Habisra tamei kitani. It did say it's tamei tuma chamura. It just said habisra. It said its basar is tamei. Right? When it said that its basar is tamei, it means that it's not mitama. Guys, what does basar tamei mean? Can it transmit or not? If it touched tuma chamura, what does it become? Rishon. Could it transmit tuma? Yes. So look back at on the base, guys. Parsha shasa mechatos bisra tamei. Now you want to say that it's metame tuma chamura like an av. Then why do you say bisra tamei? You should say bisra yitama. That has the capacity to transmit tuma. So it must be that's not a good pshat. So it must be Reb Yehuda holds what? It's bottled completely. And you have a good raya that he had charata. Says we're cool Reb Yehuda. No raya. I could say the whole Bryce is Reb Yehuda, meaning there is no Tanakama. There is no Tanakama, and you have no raya. Cool Reb Yehuda. And the Mishnah is missing words. Here's the way you learn pshat. Para sheshasa mechatos. A para that went ahead and drank mechatos. Bisra tamei. It's basas tamei. When do we say it's basas tamei? Tumakala. Only tumakala. Why? Because it only has the capacity as tumas mashke. Aval tuma chamura to be an avatuma loy not. Shereb Yehuda Omer batla b'meyeha. The mechatos is batla b'meyeha, but the mashka is not. So it's one tana. And you right now you haven't proven anything. Could be that when it says batl meyaha, it only means regarding mechatos, but could be regarding tumas oichlin, it would be metama. Okay, so again, in our shaila, did he have complete charata? We have him in place of the shaila. Rabbi Ashi Yomer Loilam Butler Meyel Legami. It's butler completely. It's totally butler completely. But you don't have a raya. Mishum the Havile Mashka Saruach. Fellas, it's not a mashka at all. Ken Zain, that if it was a mashka, it wasn't disgusting, it wasn't saruach, it would be transmit tuma. I don't know. But the reason why Butler b'meyeha, that mechatas is off the board and tumas mashka is off the board, once it gets in the stomach and involved with all the enzymes and everything that goes on there, it's saruach, it loses its shei mashka. If you're not a mashka, no one holds its metama tuma at all. So therefore, we have Shitas Reb Meir, Tahar, Shitas Rabbi Yehuda, clearly at Charota by Caleb, and we have a Shiloh, what his din was by Eichel. Did he have Charota or not? We don't know. Okay, what's the third Shita? What's the third Shita? Again, so this is our oh, I got the little thing there. This is our chart. We know the Shita of Reb Meir. He dashes the pasuk over here. Mikol oichel sheyochel sheyovel of mayim yitma. It will be tamei, but not yitamei. Rabbi Yehuda dashes the word as yitamei. It will transmit tuma. Rabbi Yosef Shimon darsin yitamei regarding oichel, and we didn't see Kalim. We're about to see that now. So we went through this shita. Now we're going through this shita, the shita of Rabbi Yosef, Rabbi Shimon, depending on that pasuk. Okay. Rabbi Shimon Oimrim. La'oichlin tameim, l'kevin tahirim. Regarding oichel, it's tamei. The mashka is metama food. Notice, guys, mashka is not metama mashka; it's metama food. L'kelim tahirim. For kelim, it's tahar. Amar Rabbi Rav Chana Amar Reish Lakish. Rabbi Yosi b'shitas Rabbi Kiva Rabbi Yomer. We have the Gemara in Yevamis that after 24,000 Talmidim died, so Rabbi Yosi he was left. Rabbi Kiva was left with a few Talmidim. Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yosi, Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Elazar and Shemua, and Rabbi Yehuda, and then Rabbi Meir. So his Rebbe was Rabbi Kiva. Amra the Darish Yitma, when it could have said Yitma and Yitamei. He darshans that way, like you saw on the chart. What does Yitma mean? It will be Tamei. What does Yitamei mean? It will be Metama. Once you get that, everything goes Kishmirt. Ditnan. Boy Bayoim, that day. Guys, anytime in the Gemara when it says that day, it's the day they took down Rabbi Gamliel from the Nesias and they installed Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Remember, Rabbi Gamliel didn't let everyone in, was Toicha, wasn't Kabaroi, right? Okay, now. So now, Boy Bayom Dorish Rabbi Kiva, V'chol Kli Cheresh Asher Yipol Mehem, and any Kli Cheres Asher Yipol Mehem, Kol Asher B'soicha Yitma. Now let's go through it. A Kli Cheres Asher Yipol Mehem, Kol Asher B'soicha Yitma. You have a Kli, guys, look. The sheretz goes in the airspace of the Kli. What's the Kli now? A Rishon. Again, the sheretz is the abatoma, airspace. What happens to the Kli? Rishon. What happens to the food? Sheni. What does it say? It says Yitame. So any Sheni can make a Shlishi. Any Sheni can make a Shlishi. So that's what it says. It doesn't say Tamei El Yitame. Yitame Acherim. Limit al Kika Sheni, Shoisha Shlishi B'chulim. It teaches us, now we don't paskin like this, right? We paskin only makes a Shlishi by Truma. We paskin only makes a Shlishi by Truma, not by Chulin. Not by Chulin. But over here, Rabbi Kiva's Shita is, it makes a Shlishi by, a Sheni makes a Shlishi by Chulin. V'hacha Hechi Darish. And what about our pasuk? Right? V'hacha Hechi Darish. How does he darshan our pasuk, which I have in front of you now? V'chol mashke asher yishasa. Look at the v'chol mashke asher yishasa. V'chol kli yitma yitamei. The tamei tumas oichlin. This means any mashke that he drinks, v'chol kli, and it had received tuma from a sheretz, yitamei, it can be metama food. At time the tamei tumas oichlin. Now, fellas, there's three possibilities of three things you can be metama: food, liquid, kalim. We're going to go through all three, right? So now we're saying from this pasuk, the liquid can be metama food. The Gemara wants to know, how did the Gemara know food? Maybe it's metama another mashka. Maybe a mashka can be metama another mashka. Says the Gemara. Can it zayin? It can't be. My loikachaya. What do you mean it can't be? So Amar Papa, loimatzinu tuma sha'isa kiyaytziba. You don't find tuma that it can be metama something that's similar to it. We had this, fellas. We had it not that long ago. Turn to page Yudalit. In the middle of the page, Yachol, I might think Yehi Ochel Mitama Oichel. I might think one food can be Mitama another food. Tamaloimar, V'chiyitin mum al zera, V'chimayim al zera, V'nafel minu v'som alav, Tamei hu. Hu Tamei, V'ein oisa kayotze b'tamei. It, the Oichel's Tamei, but it can't be Mitama something similar to it. So the mashka al korchach cannot be Mitama another mashka. It must be Mitama an Oichel. That's what we're saying. Again, there's three possibilities. The mashka can be mitama mashka, an oichel, or a kli. So the Gemara says it's oichel. Fred the Gemara, how do you know it's oichel? And we have to get rid of two other ones. The possibility of what? Of another mashka, the possibility of a kli. Says a papa, it can't be a mashka. Why? Because one thing cannot be mitama kiyotzeba. And I just showed you, by oichel it's that way. So it's mashma, it's by this way as well. Ravina says, you don't have to come on to Migufit the Kronami Yitmalatamit. From the pasuk, you don't have to come on to anything else. From the pasuk itself, you can see that a mashka can't be mitama a mashka. How do you see that? Guys, watch. I'm going to do it outside. The first part of the pasuk. Nikola oichel, asher yochel, asher yavalov mayim. Now, yitamei. What's the oichel being metama, guys? I just showed you it can't be another oichel, right? It can't be another food. So it must be speaking about an oichel that's being metama a mashka. It can't be another oichel. It must be oichel being metama a mashka. Good? You with me? Part one. Mikola oichel, any food stuff. That can be eaten, of mayim, that water fell upon it, and a sheretz touched it, yitamei, it can be mitama. What can it be mitama, guys? It can only be mitama liquid. I just showed you on your dalid, an oichel can't be mitama an oichel. We're speaking about a food. A food can't be mitama food. So what must it be yitamei? What must it be mitama? Mashka. Now, next part of the pasuk. B'chol mashka asher yishasa b'chol kli yitamei. And any mashka. Now, you want to tell me this mashka is mitama a mashka? I know that from the first part of the pasuk. The first part was speaking about being mitama mashka, and this part is speaking about mitama mashka. Why would I need to repeat the same thing? Ella, therefore, it must be from the pasuk itself. B'chol mashka asher yishasa b'chol kli is speaking about a mashka being mitama oichel, not being mitama what? Mashka being mitama and oichel, not a mashka being mitama, not a mashka. Wait, what is going on here? I'm trying to get everybody over here. Okay, I don't know. I'm trying to get everybody up there, but I can't. No. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know. Okay, I know why. There you go. One more time. Pasuk. Part A, oichel. Part B, mashka. Part A, the oichel. What's in mitama? A mashka. Because it can't be mitama another oichel. Tamei hu tamei. So this oichel must be tamei mashka. Mashka is mitama, second part of the pasuk. Mashka sheyishasa. Second part of the pasuk. What's it going on? You're going to tell me it's going on mashka mitama mashka? Why would I need to be mitama two mashkas? It must be that this is what? An eichel. So an eichel can be mitama mashka, a mashka mitama an eichel. So says Rabbeinu, from the pasuk itself, we can ascertain that it's not speaking about a mashka. We still have to figure out why it's not speaking about mitama kli, but we'll do that soon. Says the Gemara inside. Avinu amikufu the kronami lematzasamit. Yitma l'tamei tumas mashkin. Why? Disakadai yitma the sefer. If you can tell me the yitma in the latter part of the pasuk is l'tamei tumas mashkin, is to mitama tumas mashkin. Yitami the reisha nami l'tamei tumas mashkin. The Yitami the reisha al karchach is speaking about tumas mashkin. So narvinu v'neftavinu. If that's the case, why did you need that yitma in the middle? Put the guys say the following. Say oichel, say mashka, and put a yitama by the end to go back on both of them. Why do you have to have a? In other words, this one over here would not be necessary. This one over here would not be necessary. You right the following. And then I would know it's going on both. Mashka. So why are you going ahead now? Why are you going ahead and This is Mrs. Fisher, Mrs. Fisher. So why are you going ahead and mixing up the two? Ella must be that what? They're not comparable. Here's what you could have written. What do you have to say too? Ella must be Yitma the racial Atama Tumas Mashkin, Yitma the Seifel Atame Tumas Eichlin. Okay. So now you figured it out, guys, right? You figured out that this pasuk, what did we do? We said that the first part of the pasuk, Mikola Oichel Sheyochel Sheyovel of Mayim Yitma, is speaking about Oichel Mashka. Second part, Mashka Oichel. Maybe speak of Mashka Kalim. Remember, I told you there's three possibilities, and we have to exhaust all of them. We ascertained it's speaking about Oichel. We said it can't be speaking about Mashka. Fred the Gemara, how do you know it's going on Eichel? There's a third possibility. Maybe the mashka is being matama kli. Maybe the mashka that began tummy is matama kli. Says the Gemara, ve'ema l'tami asa kalim. Let's say it's there to matama kalim. Let's say it's there to matama kalim. Says Gemara, v'lav kal v'chomer that it's not. Guys, how come? I'm going to tell you a kal v'chomer that a mashka cannot be mitama kli. Uma kli shemitama mashka. Penny, you want me to show you how I do it? You want me to show how I do it on the share screen? Here. You have a sheretz. It's in the airspace. Is this food tameh? Yeah. This is an av. This is a rishon. This is a sheni. You have a kli, a pot inside a pot. You're making a little cholent. You're putting a pot inside. You got a sheretz. Is this kli tameh? No. This kli is not tameh. This kli is not tameh.
Is it covered or is it open? I have to learn it's covered.
Sheretz is in here. The kli, it's not tameh. It's a keli. A kli. The kli. There's no food in the kli. There's no food. There's only a keli in here. You got a pot and a sheretz in the pot. Is this kli is not tameh, right? A rishon cannot make a kli. A rishon can't be mitama adam v'kelim. The most that this wall of this kli is a rishon. It can't be mitama the pot. So once you have this, we have a kal v'chomer. You ready? You got the case. So watch. Let's see it inside. Guys, we're learning a kal v'chomer that mashkin cannot be mitama kli. Here's how. Uma kli shemitama mashke a mitama kli. A kli can be mitama mashka. Can't be mitama kli. Mashka that received its tumah from the kli, ain't a din, it can't be matama kli. Mad, guys, beautiful, right? Madach, kli can't be matama kli. Mashka that it can be that receives its tumah from the kli, ain't a din, it can't be matama kli. If the guys, if the big daddy, the outside keli, can't be matama this, cannot be matama mashka, but not the kli, certainly the mashka can't be matama the kli. Good. Says it inside. Let's see one more time. Uma kli shemitama mashka. A kli can be mitama a mashka. A mitama kli, but it can't be mitama a keli between a kli if there's a sheretz there. Mashkin aboa machmas kli. The mashkin that received its tumah only from the kli, ain't a din shlo yitam es kelim. Therefore, it must be the latter part of the pasuk is speaking about a mashka being mitama and eichel. It can't be mitama a mashka because either kayotzeba or because the pasuk then would only have said one thing. And we had said yitma twice. So I know that a mashka can be a mashka. I know it can't be mitama eichel because of a kal v'chayma. Madach the kli can't be mitama the kli. Certainly the mashka that gets its tumah from the kli can't be mitama the kli. So therefore, it must be speaking on the eichel. Fred Gemara ve'ema kiloi mitama mashke naboy machmas kli aval mashke naboy machmas sheret sachanami de mitama. Okay, guys, 1 second. I just gave you this scenario where the mashkin got its tumah from a kli. What happens? A third scenario. What happens if there's no kli, and the sheretz touch the mashkin directly? So now it's no longer a sheni; it's a rishon. Forget the pot. You have direct contact from the sheretz to the mashka. This mashka rod is now, so maybe this mashka would in fact be mitama. In other words, good you have a kal v'chayma from a mashka that received its tumah from the kli. You don't have a kal v'chayma of a mashka that received its tumah directly. So the Gemara wants to know. Says the Gemara. When it comes as a result of the kli, maybe that could be mitama a kli. Says no, guys, it doesn't say anywhere in the Torah a mashkin that got its tumah from a sheretz. The only mashka we have in the Torah is right here in front of you. This is the only game in town, right here. And this is speaking where a sheretz. This is the only one. It's the only game in town. We don't know any other. Besides that, we know no other. So now, and for the Gemara, mashkin haba machmas sheretz mikasivi, is it written, right? Ella, where do you know it from? Where do you know mashkin haba machmas sheretz? B'lav mi kal v'chaymer ka'asi. It comes from a kal v'chaymer. It comes from a kal v'chaymer. What's the kal v'chaymer? Uma mashkin haba machmas kli. Mitama mashkin haba machmas kli is mitama. I said read it wrong. Mashkin haba machmas kli. Mashkin haba machmas sheretz kli. Mashkin, so mashkin haba machmas kli mitama is mitamoyin. Mashkin haba machmas sheretz like kol shekain. If it comes from sheretz direct, certainly it's mitama. One step, right? Not two. Good. Now, dayo lova min adin liyos kenidan, right? Let it be. In this case, is this mitama? The kli, is this matama? No. Why? Because of this, the kal v'chaymer, right? If this is not matama, the kli can be matama kli, then this that got its tuma mikoyach the kli, ain't idin, it's not. So therefore, no problem, guys. We've ascertained completely without a shadow of a doubt that the mashkin can not be matama mashkin. It can be matama kli. Whether the mashkin got its tuma from a kli, whether the mashkin got its tumah from a sheretz, it must be that pasuk that we just quoted infinitum must be speaking about mashka that's mitama and oichel. Mitama and oichel, mitama food. How are we doing? Guys, we're good? Anyone not clear? It's a lot to digest. Okay, I'm going to go over it quickly. We covered Heshi and we covered iPhone. Heshi, where are you? iPhone is photo shy, but you, Harold. Okay, anyway. There he is. Just playing hard to get. Hesh, I'm going over the Gemara for you. Listen up.
Thank you.
Okay. The Gemara, we had a machloikis between Reb Meir, Reb Yehuda, and Reb Shimon, Reb Yossi regarding whether Tumas Mashkin is deraisa or not. Reb Meir held that what? No way. Reb Meir said it's not. Here you go. Reb Meir said it's not. It's tar. Whether the mashkin touches an eichel, it's tar. Whether it touches kalim, it's tar. Rabbi Yehuda says in both cases it's tamei. Rabbi Yosef Shimon says by eichel it's tamei, by kalim it's tar. Good. Rabbi Meir we know because he says this pasuk you say yitma. Yitma means it's tamei, but it can't it's not yitamei. Rabbi Yehuda says tamei yitamei. Rabbi Yehuda had charata then from kalim. We want to know whether he had charata from here, and we weren't successful. Rabbi Yosef Yehuda says it's tamei's eichel because it says yitamei, but the mashkin that touches a kli is tahar. The mashkin that touches a kli is tahar, and the reason is because it gets we have a kal v'chomer. I think the reason is because we have a kal v'chomer that it should not be metama kalim. Madach kalim can't be metama kalim. Then mashka, which gets its koyach from the kli, ain't din that's metama kalim. If a sheretz can't be metama the kli, then ain't din that the mashka that gets his tumah from the kli, from the wolves of the kli, can't be metama kli. Therefore, it's tahar. That's what we're holding right now. That was a quick synopsis of the daf. Okay, we're on now on the other days. Now yitma the reisha hechi darish. Now the yitma of the reisha we darshan the seifa, guys. We darshan this yitma about mashka. What about this? Mikol oichel sheyachal sheyaval amayim yitma. Now again, oichel be metama what? 3 scenarios: oichel, mashka, or kli. Same 3 scenarios, guys. Can an oichel be metama mashka? Can an oichel be metama an oichel? Can an oichel be metama a kli? We're going to figure out it must be an oichel's metama a mashka. It won't be able to tama another oichel, and it won't be able to metama a kli. The same Gemara, except instead of using this latter part of the pasuk, which is speaking about a liquid, we're using the former part of the pasuk that's speaking about an oichel. Yitma dereisha hechidarsh mikol oichel asher yochel asher yaval mayim yitma yitamei l'tamei as mashkin. Again, to be mitama mashkin. Then oichel can be mitama mashkin. Ato im l'tamei as mashkin or eno l'tamei as kli. You say to mitama mashkin. Maybe it means mitama kli. It says when Amid kal v'chomer uma mashke shemitama oichel eno mitama kli. A mashka which can be mitama oichel cannot be mitama kli, as we said on the Amid Aleph. Oichel she'em mitama oichel. An oichel which cannot be mitama oichel. Again, an oichel cannot be tama kiyotzeba. Tamehu. Who tame the ain kiyotzeba tame. Ain a din shelo yitame kli. It's not a din that it should not be mitama kli. So therefore, if it's not mitama kli, it's not mitama an oichel. Hamani mekayim yitma. The tame asa mashkin to be mitama mashkin. Now, right now, everything would be great. Everything would be great, no problem. Again, oichel can be mitama one of 3 things: oichel, kli, mashka. It can't be mitama an oichel, right? It can't be mitama an oichel because an oichel is what? Kiyotzeba, it's the same thing. It can't be mitama a mashka because we saw in the Amid Aleph that it can't be mitama mashka. Kli, making kal v'chomer. What's the kavachaymer can be mitama kli. Uma mashka that's mitama oichel can be mitama kli. An oichel that could be mitama mashka ain't it din, right? That's gonna be a kasha. Uma mashka shemitama oichel and mitama kli. Oichel that can't be mitama oichel ain't it din to mitama kli. Again, one more time. Mashka can be mitama oichel. So you see, mashka is stronger than oichel, and yet the mashka can be mitama kli. Oichel, which can't be mitama oichel, which can't be mitama oichel, ain't din that it's not mitama kli. That's the problem with that kavachaymer. I can go the other way. Mashka is mitama oichel, can't be mitama kli, but oichel, which could be mitama mashka, maybe it could be mitama kli. What's the kavachaymer? Mashka, which can be mitama oichel, cannot be mitama kli. Oichel, which cannot be mitama oichel, ain't din that's not mitama kli. Let me switch around the first part of oichel. How about this? Oichel that could be mitama mashka, maybe it's mitama kli. So that's what the Gemara is coming to answer. Says the Gemara, the reason shehin. It says yitma l'tami es hamashkin shehin elulin l'kabel toma. The mashka is prone to be makabel toma. Now, afraid the Gemara the following. My area mashkin b'shem elulin l'kabel toma. Why do you say that the oichel can be tama the mashka because it's prone to be makabel toma? Typically, b'shem the lekam the achrina. There's no other game in town. You got rid of kli. You got rid of oichel. You got rid of mashka. So of course it can be mitama kli. There's nothing left. It says the kamar. V'chitema, you'll say the following: oichel chomer. Oichel is mochamer than mashka. Why? The mitama mashkin, the tama kli. It should be mitama mashka and be mitama kli. Oichel mashka can be mitama oichel. Good. I'm going to write it out. Mashka can be tama oichel, right? Can't be mitama kli, X, correct? Oichel, which cannot be mitama oichel, X, certainly an X on the kli. That's the kavachaymer. What about change this oichel? Change it to what? Oichel, which could be mitama mashka. If it could be mitama mashka, maybe it could be mitama kli. Got it? Therefore, the Gemara says something very geschmack, guys. You know what he says? It's not the mila of oichel that makes mitama mashka. It's the proneness of the mashka. It's not the koyach of the oichel which makes the mashka tamei. It's the chumrah of the mashka, which we'll see in a second what that is. So memela, if it's not the chumrah of the oichel, of course it can be mitama kli. Now, what's the chumrah of the mashka? It does not require hachshara to be mekabel tuma. An oichel, a dry food, in order to be mekabel tuma, you need one of the 7 liquids to fall on it. A liquid, you don't need anything to fall on it. So the reason an oichel is mitama mashka is not the power of the oichel, it's the weakness of the mashka that it's so prone to be mekabel tuma. Memela, if it's not a chumrah in the oichel, it can't be mitama kli. And that's why I needed the reason, Mishumi Lulim. Let's see it inside. V'chitema oichel chomer. If you're going to say oichel is more chomer than mashka, why? The mitama mashkin, and therefore that mayil kli, the oichel should be mitama kli. Hahu chomer the mashkin hu. The fact that it's mitama mashkin is the chomer of the mashkin. Mishum the mashkin ilulin l'kabel toma, because the mashkin is prone to l'kabel toma. Umaihi ililasan, and what's the proneness of the mashka? Shemakabel tuma, shaloi behechsha. It's shaloi behechsher. So now we got the pasuk, guys. Beautiful. Whether you got it or you didn't get it, the bottom line, here's the bottom line. This pasuk, Mikol oichel sheyochel shaloi mayim, is speaking about an oichel in a mashka. Oichel not. Chol mashka sheyishas b'chol kli yitama, that's a mashka to an oichel. Whether it's yitma or yitame is machloikis tanoim. According to Rabbi, it's yitma. According to Rabbi Yosef, Rabbi, it's yitame. And the reason why kelim at Torah is because of a kal v'chaymer. We don't know. We know Rabbi Yehuda had charata over here. We don't know what he had charata over there or not. Right? We paskin, I think that tumas oichel is all the rabbanon, guys. That the capacity for tuma, for to transmit tuma, to receive tuma, I'm not sure. I think they can receive tuma deraisa. I think to transmit tuma is the rabbanon. Okay. Says the Gemara. Yitma, when it says yitma, it is tamei, mashma dein oisa kiyotzeba. It mashma, the pasuk says yitma, meaning it is tamei, but it can't make something else tamei. Fred the Gemara, why do I need it from here? I have another source. Right? Says the Gemara, mehacha nafka, mehasa nafka. We learned it on Daf Yudal and Amid Aleph. The chiyut and mayim al zera. If mayim fell upon on zera, on seeds, the nafal min nevlasim alav, and a piece in the vela fell on it, tamehu. The vela here could be the sheretz. Tamehu. It is tamei. Marvi darshin. Hu tamei. It that it fell on is tamei. But it doesn't make tuma like it. So why do I need two psukim? One pasuk of yitma and one pasuk of tamehu. Apparently, they're both telling me the same thing. Yitma means it is tamei, but it doesn't make anything similar to a tamei. Tamehu, it is tamei, but it doesn't make anything similar to it tamei. So why do I need two psukim? Says the Gemara, the Tzuricha, you need both. The Ashmina bin Mashkin Haba Machmas Kli. If you're going to tell me that the Mashkin, that it received its tuma from a Keli, a sheretz in a Kli, the obvious tame, it's matama, the pat, the Kli. The Kli makes it into a Sheni, Mishum Deloi Chamiri. It's not so Chamer, it's a Sheni. Aval Mashkin Haba Machmas Sheretz, the Chamiri. Mashkin that comes with a sheretz, it's a Rishon Latuma, because it touched the sheretz directly, I might think there it can transmit tuma, right? So therefore, I need both. An obvious question, fellas. Tell me if it touches a sheretz that it doesn't, and certainly I know if it got its tuma from a weaker source, a kli. If a rishon can't make kiyatzeba, certainly a sheni can't make kiyatzeba. Tell me a mashkin that comes as well as a sheretz cannot make kiyotze batame. The kol shkein mashkin abam achmas kli cannot make kiyotze batame. The Gemara answers, you're right. Milsa dasi b'kal v'chaymer. I can learn out mashkin abam achmas kli for mashkin abam achmas sheretz. Nonetheless, Torah for kosel b'kra. The Torah goes ahead and the Torah goes ahead and troubles itself to write an unnecessary pasuk. Okay, this is the best place to stop. Again, thank you for being with me. It was good to give the share to somebody because it's a difficult share. But again, I think you have in synopsis, you have it's all in front of you. You have the pasuk, the